I've got the scaly princess with me today because, you know, what is a hoodie but a shirt with a built-in receptacle for a python?
It's very useful.
She likes it. She likes hoodies. Sometimes, not anymore, because I live at home and my mom doesn't like snakes, but when I was living at my house in Geneseo, my morning routine, especially during COVID when I wasn't actually going to class, like physically, was that I would wake up, put her either in the front pocket or the hood of whatever sweatshirt I was wearing, and then just take her upstairs with me while I, like, made my tea and played video games in the morning, and she'd just chill.
Aww.
Although it
Bonding
is
time.
night, so she might decide that she must explore everything, and if that happens, you go back to baby jail. But we'll see how she behaves.
See, you got the tea as well. It's
Always, always, always.
still got my bag in. Don't judge.
Disgusting.
Leave me alone.
No. I had so much fun dividing up for future use just all the questions that I've recently put in the document. It's going to be fantastic. But the one that I have to start with today is a classic. Which armrest is yours at the movie theater?
Bull.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
I was gonna say, you get there first and you assert your dominance.
I have either side of me as well. Like, no one in my bubble, especially these. No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't gone to a movie in so long, and, like, the thought of being in, like, I would give anything to be at, like, a packed superhero movie. Like, some corny action flick where everyone's just, like, getting real rowdy and, like, having a good time. I would give anything
like,
to be able to do that right now. Like, to
like
be at a really
horror
hyped up showing of, like, Thor Ragnarok. Immaculate.
Oh, so I saw that in theaters. Or a horror movie, like when everyone's laughing after the big screen, like, so much fun.
I know.
And listen, I'm not a big movie person. Like, I like movies, but I never.
Oh, I love going to the movies.
See, I was never one to see it them in theaters all that much, but like now, especially, I'm like dying to see something. Are they still closed? I don't even know what's the status. Like, not that I'd go.
I think
anyway,
they're allowed
but I really...
to be open in New York. I don't know how many actually are.
I feel that, like, okay, if gyms are open, like, movie theaters should be open,
but also should gyms be open?
That's my other thing.
Ooh,
about the gym, I know they have, like, you know, 2 to 3 like machines apart, which is good.
But still, like, you're breathing heavily.
It's I know, but it's one case where I'm like, just wear a mask all that much because you are like projectile shooting your other people. Like, how is that like different? Like, I feel like in that case, the mask is like the least whatever. Yeah. That's something else I miss doing. I used to love the gym. And now I
am not much of a gym person, also because I don't have access to one, because I'm not paying for that, but, like, I want to bike outside again. And I mean, that's something I could do if it wasn't, like, snowing right now, but, like, just in general, I miss outdoors and places and things.
Me too.
But yeah, no,
in my house for so long.
I do agree with your assessment. You get there early and you plant your arms on both armrests, and whoever's unfortunate enough to sit next to you just has to suffer.
But, like, chances are sitting next to you at least one person you know.
This is also
I
true.
feel like it's okay to like, share with them.
This is true. Like, that's also why movie theater dates are ideal, because you share the middle armrests and whole hand.
So I mean, if we're thinking, if you want to have the most enjoyable armrest experience, you gotta bring two. And
this is true, and then
so
you take the middle
agree,
seat
all right?
with two people that you're comfortable sharing with.
Yes.
I like that. Do you mind?
If if I had to choose one side only, it really just depends where the other person is sitting. Like if they're on my left side, I'm gonna like lean towards them and go on my left arm.
Yeah,
or vice versa. So
I agree. Yeah. The next one I like, because I don't know what the person who came up with this was thinking, but honestly, I would like to be their friend. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
It's a form of attack.
I have absolutely no idea. All that is given to me by this question, or all that I am assuming from the premise of this question, is that these chickens and this elephant are mortal enemies, and only one party will leave this altercation alive. How many chickens would need to be in that army?
I'm just thinking how these chickens would, like, defeat this elephant. Like, would they peck him to death? Or, like, would they all sit on him or her?
I'm gonna guess pecking. Chickens can be pretty angry.
I don't encounter all that many chickens.
I don't either, but
in my day-to-day life, but
I know some people who have had chickens, and apparently they can throw hands sometimes. I mean, wings, but
throw wings.
They have their moments of being filled with rage, and I think if there was enough of them harnessing that.
I mean, well, when I think of a chicken, I always think rage, because they're always just like zooming back and forth, like clucking, sounding angry. You don't think of a calm chicken or of it like running around.
This is very true. I'm gonna take 2 seconds and put her back because she has decided that it's explore time. Ignore my pajama pants, people watching this on YouTube.
I like them.
Thank you.
Stripes, they're cool. I would say at least 50 because elephants are big.
What was your answer?
At least, no, you know what? At least 30, but I feel like to really get like an easy defeat, it'd have to be like 50 chickens.
Yeah, my minimum was gonna be 50.
Because, like, these would have to be pretty pissed off chickens.
Like, really pissed off chickens, minimum 50 is, like, my final answer, I guess. But anything higher than that would be better.
I would even say 30. It also depends on the size of the elephant. Because if it's, like, you know, not a mature, full-sized elephant yet. Like,
this is also true. You do have a point.
Ratio.
This is correct. But we are not given any more detail, so I'm just going to assume it is the average size elephant, which would be a full-grown one. Mm-hmm. So, pretty big. Is that
the average? Yes, so.
I would say 50 to 75 minimum.
Yeah. I'll
probably on the higher end. Elephants are large.
Yeah.
And I feel like the chickens have to be, if we're thinking about this in a sort of military strategy type way, the chickens would have to be expecting heavy losses because they can easily be stepped on by the element. So ideally, as a combat force, they'd be entering this scenario with more than 75 minimum.
For some losses.
Yeah. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on this.
Yeah, I don't encounter chickens nor elephants all that much in my day-to-day life, so it's not like, you know, I could assess their strength weaknesses off the back of my hand. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, like, easily.
I mean, also, they can, I don't know if they, like your average, like, farm chicken
like, ask,
can fly all that well.
say maybe this is,
But they can use their wings
can.
for, like, you know, get a little air. That might help. Have it not just be a ground assault.
Perhaps a question like zookeepers and, like, I don't know, circus workers answer, just so they know. If all hell was to break loose and the chickens and elephants intermingled, like, how many chickens would it take to take down the elephant?
When I was a kid, we used to go
They're preparing
stay
for the worst.
in this place in Massachusetts, I think, like Cape Cod area. And it was like, you know, you rented a little cabin on a lake and all that fun stuff, but the guy who owned it, like, he was, like, you know, kind of like a hippie type dude, so he kept chickens and he had them in this big fenced in, like, you know, area that was near the little, and, like, the place had a playground, so, like, people who had kids that were renting the cabins could, like, take their kids to the swing set and stuff like that. And the farm was like right next to it, so my sister and I would go play on the playground, and then we'd, like, pick all the really long grass and stick it through, like, the chain link fence and feed it to the chickens. And they seemed pretty nice. They were, like, they didn't seem particularly angry, but yeah, that's my experience with chickens. Also, one time when I worked at a library, they had a local farmer bring in, like, baby chicks for the kids who would come to the library to, like, watch them grow up over a couple weeks, and then the farmer took them back to the farm. But yeah, my vacations as a child, and when I worked in the library, and there were chicks there. Those were some especially fun shifts.
I don't have any chick-related or chicken-related memories, I don't think.
Oh, really? I'm pretty sure when I was in, like, either preschool or kindergarten, first grade, they definitely did the, like, you know, local farmer brings, like, eggs to the classroom, and then you watch the chicks hatch.
We didn't get the chicken exchange program where I went.
That's so sad.
I was denied a key childhood memory I missed out on.
When I was in first grade, we also did the thing where they get, like, caterpillars online, and then you watch them become butterflies. That was pretty cool.
Aww.
That was before I saw that episode of SpongeBob that made me think that butterflies are kind of gross.
Before
prior to that trauma. But yeah, those are some stories of my experiences with wildlife as a child. Minimal that they are.
More than me, it looks like.
You city slickers.
Listen, I live in suburbia. Are there a lot of farms near you?
No.
No? Oh,
no,
wait,
I'm really not much better. I'm just messing with you. No, the closest thing to farm area or, like, I don't know, wilderness is, like, a couple hiking nature preserves in the 30 minutes to an hour range near where I live.
There's actually a good amount of farms on Long Island, but they're all out east where I am not, so it's actually yeah, I mean, they used to have, like, Long Island used to be known for, like, breeding, like, ducks. My favorite animal.
I do love a good duck.
And also, and also there are many vineyards on Long Island. So
okay, the vineyards thing is not surprising at all.
Near the farms. No. But yeah, that's all out east for the most part.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I wasn't even alive when the retro, the more you know symbol, like with the rainbow star, was like the thing they were
I
using,
know.
and yet I am nostalgic for it. Just because of how saturated it is into like meme culture.
I know, that was a key meme back in like 2013. Like
it's a good time. Okay. So, next question is earbuds versus headphones. What do we prefer and why? And also, in the headphone category, on-ear headphones versus over-ear headphones. Thoughts, comments, feelings.
All right. So it depends. It depends what I'm doing. I think day to day, like I don't know, going about my house and just I want to listen to music. I'll put in headphones, and of course, if I'm not headphones, earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
I use AirPods. I don't know about you, but
I wish
wireless
that were me.
type AirPod. Listen, it took me a while to convert. I was very hesitant, but now that I have, it has significantly.
See, I want to get
those out because you're not attached by like a wire.
Here's the thing. I want to get Bluetooth earbuds, but not necessarily AirPods. Like, maybe like some.
Listen,
some
they don't have to be
ones
AirPod brand.
That like the ones that are connected, like a little, and they have the little like thingy where you can like click to change the song. Not like two
any like
tiny separate ones, because that would stress me out.
Wireless. Oh, not two separate ones. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I've also used the Beats ones that like connect in the back. Like
yeah, so that's what I'm talking about.
They're tiny. That you should get. That's actually also good to use.
Also, these
for
are
or
Bluetooth
whatever you want.
Gaming headphones, which is nice.
That's good.
And they have a fun little microphone insert. Yeah, I gotta say, it does depend on the situation.
Things that you use
for me as well.
Yeah, there are certain things you'd want to use headphones for, like doing a podcast. Back when I worked at the radio station at Geneseo, you want headphones for on your neck just because it's better listening experience for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, like when I'm working out and using my AirPods, I don't have to necessarily like catch every like thing they're saying that age. So if you're like video editing or something, you really need headphones, I'd say.
Yeah, these I usually use if I'm like watching something on my computer or listening to something on my computer, but I'm also kind of like, doing stuff around my room, like chores or whatever, like making my bed. So I'll use these because they're wireless. If I'm sitting down for a long time at my computer editing, I have a wire. They're older, but they still have really good sound quality. A wired pair of Bose headphones. So I use those if I'm like, sitting down for a while. And then if I'm walking around my house a lot or like out on a walk, then I use earbuds. But also one time, I was on a plane and I had brought like my Bose headphones with me to listen to music, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be nice because the sound quality is a little nice, like, not by a lot, but a little nicer than my earbuds. And like the plane, like just the drone of the plane was like such loud background noise that I had to turn the music up to a point where my ears hurt trying to listen to it. And that's when I learned earbuds are superior for listening to music on a plane because they block out more than just over-ear headphones.
It's hard with like those vibrations going on, like very far in the background to block out headphones.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point about like using non-wired headphones, because the ones I'm actually wearing, they're not the best in the world, but it's what I have right now, and I'm not doing anything like, crazy advanced where I need high-tech headphones, but when I use them, like their Bluetooth features, like there's such a lag. Like not horribly, like it's okay, I guess, for listening to music, but if it's a video, it's probably
That
because they're
would
just like
drive me
crappy
nuts.
headphones.
Like even like the
Yeah,
tiny
so
amount
that's
of
why
lag that I have to deal with, like
yes,
with this,
yeah, that's why I usually wear them with the wire.
infuriates me. Like that's why I recently I went on Amazon and I bought a video capture, like a USB video capture card, so I can start using my like actual camcorder instead of a webcam, because the delay with my webcam and this microphone has been driving me insane. So that's been fun. But yeah, I don't like on-ear headphones, frankly. Not a fan.
Okay.
I want to be completely covered. I see yours are, I'm guessing, on-ear headphones?
Yeah, they are. I don't mind. I like them.
Yeah, I don't know. I like my chunky gamer boys. And they do have a nice little feature where there's like a dial here that I can use to adjust the sound. So like get it really precise. And also I don't, like if I'm sitting on the bed watching something on like my really big screen, I can just adjust it from there. So I do like my boys.
Nice.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
I'm alternating between the tea and the water.
I only had this little mug, so the tea is already gone, but that's fine. Oh, here's one I think that we did on our lost episode of No Sound.
I was gonna say, I was reading the questions. I'm like, I feel
This
like
is
I
familiar.
expressed some strong opinions here. I expressed some strong opinions here.
Time to bring it back. Does peanut butter belong in the fridge? Absolutely fucking not.
Yes, it does.
I don't want
The
cold
butters
peanut
I
butter.
get-
That's nasty.
The peanut butters I get belong in the fridge. Like,
Oh my god, are you
I
getting
don't get
pretentious
those,
organic
like-
peanut butter?
honestly, yeah. I don't buy it when I was in college. I bought the cheapest thing because that's what I deserve. But my mom is all, and my dad actually. Who am I kidding? Like they're like, oh, organic, and they want to buy better stuff. Like, okay, it can go in the fridge. Like, yeah, that stuff has to go in the fridge.
Okay, well, we just buy Jif at my house, and I don't want my peanut butter to be difficult to spread on my toast.
Yeah, no, like if that type of peanut butter, like, of course, like you don't. Well, maybe I'd stuff on the fridge because I'm used to it like that. But no, but that I can see what you're saying. Like it'd be hard to spread. So
yeah, I don't need that in my life. My life is already difficult enough. I don't have to make it harder for myself.
an extra challenge.
I don't need that. Everything in my life is a challenge. I simply do not need additional ones.
These days, I could not agree with you more. Everything, even things that, like, I don't know, I used to not find all that burdensome, are just like, oh, like, I have to go do that.
Literally, like, the thought of doing more than 5 things in a day. Mind-blowing.
Stressful.
Like, do you know how many things I used to do every single day?
I did many things.
Like 20.
Like
and now I'm
4
just like,
times
what do you mean I have
as
to...
many things.
I have to do more than 3 things every single day. It's insane. I hate it. I hate that this is what I've become. And I also know that I am extremely privileged. So, like... calling these struggles is pretty subjective. What a time. What a time. Not a fan.
Now that we're on the peanut butter debate, I don't know if this actually made it to since broadcasted podcast or not, but I'm just gonna bring it up again.
Okay.
Smooth or chunky?
I mean, for the most part, smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I find that more convenient to be, like, spreading on toast or
Yeah.
making a PB&J out of. But I don't mind chunky. Honestly, sometimes I need a little something extra texture-wise.
I'm with you 100% on that. Like,
And I'm
in
not
my house,
against crunchy peanut
my
butter
parents have been buying chunky, which
on
it's,
toast.
it's not my favorite. I really do prefer smooth, but like, what I gotta do? It's interesting sometimes and good for a change.
I might have told this story before, but when I was in St. Petersburg, where I got this sweatshirt, we went to a little market and we were buying groceries, and like I could tell by the packaging that it was peanut butter, and there were two different like kinds, but I didn't know which was which, and like the packaging was like opaque, so it's not like I could see, and I wound up buying chunky peanut butter. And I was like, okay, this is fine. This is good. So, yeah, there's my fun story about that, which really isn't a story. It's just a thing that happened because I couldn't read. Or those specific
you took
words.
a chance.
I did take a chance, and it turned out fine, frankly. But yeah, no. It's kind of depending on my mood, really. On what I'm feeling that day.
Yeah, I feel like chunky peanut butter is better suited for PB&J, whereas like if you just want like spread some peanut butter on just plain toast, like smooth.
See,
I
I
don't know.
I could do either with toast. Chunky peanut butter is pretty good on toast. I gotta say, if you're dipping like apples, smooth only.
Yeah.
You already have your texture variance with the apple. But this is also just my opinion.
No, that's very true.
So, yeah, those are my thoughts regarding peanut butter, and I don't want it to be cold. I want it to be spreadable. Okay. This is a pretty popular one that I don't think we've done before. Where are we on the e-reader versus physical book debate?
Oh, I am 100% physical book. I have,
Absolutely.
especially since this pandemic, I've been looking at screens way too often. So if I have the chance to get the physical book, I will. Every time in school, unless the physical hard copy was a lot more expensive.
Yeah, then
which
screw
was
that.
The case sometimes. But I would always, get the actual book because my eyes are shot already from looking at screens.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I personally own more books than all the other members of my family put together. And I do understand the value of an e-reader. Like, if you're traveling all the time, like, if you have I know one of our family friends, he has a job where, like, he makes, like, his company makes, like, machines for, like, food processing plants. So if, like, if there's, like, a bunch of crackers going down, like, an assembly line, and each of them needs to be, like, sprayed with a specific amount of, like, like, canola oil or whatever, like, that his company takes care of that, and he's gone absolutely everywhere, like, Russia, Thailand, Australia, he goes all over the world for work constantly. So if you have a job like that, I really do recognize the value of an e-reader. Because you can take it anywhere, you can get as many books as you want, and, one small thing. But I just love physical books. Like, you get the book smell. Both old and new book smell. Incredible. And, like,
one of my favorite... Oh, I was just gonna say, one of my favorite pastimes is, like, going to bookstores and just, like, I don't even have to buy a book that day. Just, like, browsing.
Just being there.
Yeah.
It does feel nice.
Exactly.
And, like, I like seeing the bookmark move as you make progress, and, like, the, you know, pages moving from one side to the other, being like, oh, I have so little left. Especially when I was still attempting to read War and Peace. That was really satisfying, even though I didn't finish it. But yeah, no, I love physical books, and, like, owning multiple copies of something so you can, like, you know, make notes in one. Like, I have a nice illustrated copy of Good Omens, and then I have, like, a beat-up copy that I got secondhand that I made a bunch of little, like, fun annotations in. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, again, I know e-readers very useful if you're traveling. Usually e-reader versions of books are cheaper. But God, nothing can replace that physical book for me. I love it. I love it so much.
I know.
It's such a good feeling to books are great. I love a good book. That's the one thing that, like, is annoying me personally about the fact that I'm so into listening to a bunch of different, like, audio drama podcasts lately. I can't read while I'm listening to an audio drama. There's just too much happening. I'm like, oh man, like, I need something to do while I'm listening to this. I'm like, well, can't read. That's just not an option right now. But, you know, I go through phases of doing certain things. Right now it's audio dramas. I'll get in another book phase at some point and then read, like, some ridiculous amount of books in a week. Such is the way of my life.
I feel like this is, true for many people. You, like, start a book and you get, like,
you, like, get into a rhythm.
3/4 through. No, 3/4 through, and then it takes, like, weeks to finish the last part of it. Like, that happens every time for me.
That happens to me sometimes, but, like, I also just love that feeling of, like, staying up to some ridiculous hour because you can't put a book down.
Yes.
Great feeling, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
I was doing that a couple nights ago. I was reading... Here's me promoting things that I'm not being paid to promote. Once again... 13 Stories by Jonathan Sims. Fantastic. I was up so late finishing it. And I also have another, I got for Christmas that I haven't read yet. I have another Twin Peaks book that I get to read. Ooh. And I'm really excited about that. My 2 other Twin Peaks books on my shelf. So much stuff relating to Twin Peaks.
I love that you have a library in your room.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sitting next to a 5-tiered bookshelf that is completely chock full of books and also has towering stacks of books on top of it as well.
I love that.
There's a lot going on here.
One thing I really want once I move out, like, even if it's, like, you know, moving out an apartment, I want some sort of, like, system for my books, because now they are just in, like, hidden nooks and crannies in my room, and it, like, annoys me.
The ones on, like, the top of my shelf that are just stacked are ones that I haven't read yet, and there really isn't much of a system there. They're just kind of up there, but everything I have on my bookshelf that I have read is alphabetical by author last name. Again, worked in a library. Oh, that was a great job. I miss it. I would just pop my headphones in, my earbuds, and just shelve and pull books for 2 hours, and nobody would speak to me. It was great.
That sounds lovely.
I really do miss it. That was a great job. But, yeah. I'm sure it's very evident. I love me a good book. Good physical book. Alright. This one I like because it makes me think of the galaxy brain meme. And the question is, do you believe this conspiracy theory? And the conspiracy theory in question is, Area 51 conspiracy theories were started by the government to distract us from where they're really keeping the aliens. And again, it's galaxy brain. It's just one step further than, Area 51 is where they're keeping the aliens.
I feel like it's, what am I thinking of? It's like they're hiding them in plain sight. Yeah. Like, they're giving us this location, and yet, like,
that has all this mystery surrounding it, so that we'll focus on that, and they can do their actual alien stuff in peace. Why was this not a plotline on the X-Files?
I know. I can get behind that theory. If that came to be true, it would not surprise me.
That's fair.
Especially when last year everyone wanted to storm Area 51.
Area 51. God.
Like,
incredible.
They probably they didn't want that to happen because people would discover, oh, there's nothing here. Where's the real place?
This is so true. You haven't seen the X-Files, have you? Have you watched the X-Files?
I have in the past.
Oh, great show. Love that. That show was my personality in high school. I also have a ridiculous amount of X-Files things. Got a couple books, Funko Pops, DVD set.
No, they are good. I just haven't watched that in, forever.
I'll allow it. Yeah, no, that, again, galaxy brain. It's one step further, and honestly, I like it better than Area 51 is where they're hiding the aliens. It's spicier. It's fresh.
That's what they want you to think.
Exactly. That's what the man wants you to think. Also, now I'm just thinking about the X-Files, because I haven't watched that show since they took it off Netflix. And it was really sad that they did.
Maybe they'll put it back
more evidence of me being obsessed with the X-Files. I went to 2 X-Files panels at Comic-Con, and after one of them, I was part of a group that rushed the stage, and I met Chris Carter.
That's awesome.
And I got a picture with him, so that was kind of cool.
If you can find that, you should include that picture here.
I absolutely can find that, and I'm pretty sure that the magazine he autographed for me is on my shelf somewhere, but I don't have time to dig that up. She's hiding.
Too many books.
Too many books. Too many things. But yeah. Love the X-Files. And the X-Files is what got me into Twin Peaks, because I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I need some other weird show from the 90s. And Netflix was just like, here you go. And then I wound up hyperfixating on Twin Peaks. Even worse. Whatever, it's fine. We're not here to talk about only my hyperfixations. We're here to talk about where they're hiding
your burning
aliens.
Questions. That being one of them.
That's one of them. And another one of them is, does breaking up a taco shell simply create tortilla chips?
See, I want to say yes.
Right? But if you compare the average tortilla chip to a taco shell, there is a difference.
Mm-hmm. They bake them differently, too.
Oh, do they? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a different baking process just because they need to get that shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, I feel like it depends on, what kind of hard shell taco you're eating, but they even taste different as well.
But it also depends on the tortilla chip, because there are, the higher end kind of, restaurant style tortilla chips, and I feel like those have a similar kind of texture to what you would get if you just crumbled a taco shell. But then, you compare, you know, the regular taco shell that you get in, like, just the, you know, like, El Paso taco kit to, like, a Tostitos, there's a significant difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's your standard for tortilla chip, then no, I don't think you can say breaking up a taco shell gives you tortilla chips. But again, if we're talking about, like, it's a brand that starts with an X. It's like a indigenous to Mexico word, like, from prior to Spanish colonization. I cannot pronounce it, but they have very good, like, homemade, like, restaurant style tortilla chips, which are closer in texture to, like, a taco shell.
I feel like this is something where I want to be able to say, oh yeah, they're the same, but, like, there's just too many differences going on where I can't.
Like, you look at the question and you're like, haha, of course it does. But then you're like, wait.
But then you think about it and you're like, wait.
I'll have to link the brand that I'm talking about in the description.
Speaking of
things I'm writing down
tacos,
for today.
Speaking of hard shell tacos, which I do like soft shell more so, but I really appreciate when the hard shell, like, you can sit it down, like, it has a slight flat bottom. It's not just, like, completely U-shaped. Like, I really appreciate that.
Here's what I do with hard shell tacos. This is kind of unconventional. I get, like, the, you know, taco. I can't speak tonight. I don't know what it is, but I get, like, my taco meat. I get the cheese, lettuce, you know, put some I put black olives on there. Because, you know, olives are good.
Yes,
get all that, you know, put my sour cream on there, and then I will kind of, like, I'll break up the shell, not into really little pieces, but I'll break up the shell and use it as a scoop, as a utensil for the sort of filling mixture that I have made.
So almost, you break it up into, like, tortilla chips.
Kind of. It's almost like chips. It's almost like taco salad. And I merely use the broken up shell as a utensil for the consumption of the taco salad. So that's my method with hard shell tacos. And honestly, I don't know if there's a difference ingredient wise, but I kind of just consider, like, a soft shell taco to be a burrito because I always fold it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I never just fold it unless it's, like, the really little mini ones. I never just fold a full-size soft taco shell in half. Like, is there actually, I don't know, is there a difference? Is a soft taco shell is just a tortilla, right?
That I will say is, like, a small, it's the same thing as they use for, like, burritos. Like,
it's a tortilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so whenever I'm using a tortilla, I fold it into a burrito. And I don't know because you don't usually put like beans in a taco, do you?
I mean, you can.
You can, but like
you have to put a lot less because there's not as much, like, surface area. Because,
like, I can see how, like, you could say this, like, it's not a taco. Something isn't a taco, like, filling wise. Because, like, the ingredients for a taco and a burrito are pretty similar, but, like, I feel like there is some cases where you can clearly say, this is a burrito, this is a taco, this order of ingredients, or this combination of ingredients is not.
I feel like more so it's just the size difference between burritos and tacos that, like, because there are different types of tacos and there are different types of burritos. So, like, I feel like this is something where the size is, like, a key factor in distinguishing the two.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But, like, I feel like if somebody were to make, like, to put in a taco shell, like, burrito filling,
Mm-hmm.
It would be, like, especially if it was, like, really, like, bean-based. I'd be a little weirded out by that. Not that it's bad, just that I'd be like, why is a burrito in a taco shell? But I don't know. We had enchiladas for dinner tonight. They were really tasty. Chicken enchiladas. And also, we've started watching Schitt's Creek in my house. So we've started pulling a Moira Rose and referring to enchiladas as she does, which is enchiladas. Yes, David, I make enchiladas, my mother's recipe. Ugh, Moira Rose, what an icon. If you are not watching Schitt's Creek, cannot recommend it enough. It's a fun time. All my bones crunching. I don't know what I did today. I, like, twisted weird, like, trying to look over my shoulder or something. My back cracked louder than I have ever heard it in my life.
It was, like, years of, like, years of
tension just gone. So that was an interesting thing. I say interesting, let's be real. Interesting by the standards of my life in quarantine thing that happened to me today.
So, like, on a comparable basis, today was a good day because of that.
Today was a good day for several reasons, which was shocking because I wasn't expecting it, but, like, I'll take it.
That's what I like to hear.
That is what we like to hear. Unexpected good days. Love that for anyone who's having one. We have technically gone through all of our questions today. Do we want to...
I think we have time.
Find another one, or do we want to just riff for a little bit?
Yeah.
There were options there. What was the answer?
Oh, I said, I think we have time for another question.
Okay. Scroll on down. Cool Whip versus whipped cream. Where do we stand?
Whipped cream.
Correct.
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream is superior.
I feel like Cool Whip's like if you're in a rush.
I physically cannot remember the last time I had Cool Whip.
We don't buy it in our house.
Yeah, no, we've never bought it in my house either.
Maybe the other brand is called Ready Whip. Maybe that's because you're in a rush and you needed something ready right that second. You don't have time to make...
I mean, that's definitely a whipped cream brand. Like, Cool Whip is its own separate thing. You know, it tastes different.
I know.
Even if it is technically supposed to be whipped cream, it's not. It's simply
the
not.
Domino's of pizza.
Okay, I don't understand what this Domino's thing is because I've never had Domino's in my life. What does it mean?
You've got to try Domino's and then come back to me.
I don't want to. I don't think it's that good.
I mean, no one really wants to, but, like, it's, like, forced upon them, and then, I don't know, you end up being like, do I want pizza? No, I want Domino's.
I'm trying to think...
You might think it's hard. You might think it's horrible and be like, I never want to eat
of an
this again.
analogous experience in my own life, but just nothing is coming to mind. I don't know. Maybe it's like wanting McDonald's chicken nuggets specifically. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have anything to say on the subject of... Is Cool Whip, like, dairy-free or something? Is that the draw? Is it for people who, unfortunately, must suffer? Cool Whip. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a brand of imitation whipped cream. Does she contain dairy?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Then...
Milk protein.
Then what? What's the point of it just being fake whipped cream?
That's a great question.
None of this is making sense to me. Like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and it, like... And here's the thing. It's, like... It has a longer shelf life, but it doesn't have the same flavor or texture as whipped cream and costs nearly 50% more per ounce. And, like, if it's an alternative for people who can't eat dairy, that I understand. But it's not, so what is the point?
It's its own thing.
We don't like need it!
I'm telling you, it's like...
This is bothering me, like, to a degree I wasn't expecting. I know a girl who is allergic, like, deathly allergic to dairy. Like, in the way that most people have a peanut allergy. And she was also extremely allergic to eggs as a child, so, like, one of the only, like, desserts that she could have was just straight up, like, frosting.
Oh.
I felt so bad for her.
Pretty good.
I mean, I'm not against it, but I was like, wow, that's rough. So many...
Do you know dairy?
Things that children like contain dairy.
I recently learned that dairy does not include eggs. Like, they're separate. So if something's, like, dairy-free, it could have eggs in it. I didn't know that.
Oh. I mean...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I always knew that... I mean, dairy's from a cow.
I just...
You lumped them together in your mind?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of things are often both dairy and egg-free, because it's usually, like, going to people who are, like, you know, unless it's just a dietary restriction, like, you're allergic to the one thing but not the other, like, it's also going to a lot of people that are, like, vegetarian or vegan, so they're probably not eating any animal product. So I don't know, maybe that's why people tend to kind of lump it together mentally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like, maybe, like, farm products, like, oh yeah, eggs, cheese, they're all the same, but, like, no, dairy
well, I mean,
is only...
Most foods are a farm product if you think about it enough.
Yes, well, I feel like most are, like, factory products.
I mean, yes, but, you know, you gotta start with something from a farm. Wheat, corn.
Yes, but, like, I don't know, I think of, like, fresh... I don't know, listen, I just
perishable farm products.
Together. Yes, exactly.
There we go. Well, I mean, more immediately perishable than a vegetable.
Vegetal.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, I never really had them lumped together that way in my mind, but I kind of understand why. Trying to, like, move things on my desk and make the least amount of noise possible. Crushing it. Also, I see your nails are painted as well.
They are.
People who are just listening on audio, my nails are black. Goth queen.
Mine are purple.
I love that.
And they're super long. Yeah, they're my actual nails, but
oh my God, really?
I cut them. It's starting to, like, yeah, they're, like, super long. But it's starting to affect my day-to-day actions, like taking out contacts hurts.
Yeah.
So I need
that sounds scary. This is long, like, sorry audio listeners, what I've currently got going on is technically long for me because I keep my nails incredibly stubby because of guitar, even though I don't practice nearly as much as I should. But, you know,
Yeah,
sometimes you just gotta be a goth queen.
I love it.
Frankly, I'd like to dress in my day-to-day life a bit more goth. Just always. I'm working on that.
I think you should do that. I fully support that.
I mean, I got the goth nails. I do have some black lipstick.
I have been calling this for years, but I do think emo is making a comeback, it should.
And I kind of like it.
And that's thanks to TikTok, I will say. Like, I think that's a big contributor. I'm not angry, so.
Yeah. And I kind of want to start getting a little more out there. Like, I don't wear makeup a lot, but it's because, like, when I was younger, the only time I would ever wear it was like, oh, special event, and I would just, put on a little eyeliner, a little eyeshadow, some mascara, like, and have it be very kind of like, like, kind of natural.
Mm-hmm.
I really kind of want to just be out there with it, like, be real weird with it. And I'm noticing, like, especially, like, on TikTok, people doing, like, some pretty out there makeup looks just day to day. Like, that's what I want. So I kind of want to get, like, a nice neon palette and sort of go to town with that. And then see how we feel.
Yeah, I felt it was very true. Someone said, I think this was on Twitter, your 20s are just getting back into things you were into when you were like 13, except you don't have any shame about it. I'm like, wait, because throughout quarantine, I've been like revisiting too, and now I'm just like, oh, like I don't care what people think about me anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna enjoy this without anyone's word on it.
Yeah, this wow. I didn't expect to be so called out by a person I've never met before.
I know. I read that. I'm like, wait, this person knows me?
I'm like, sir? Sir, ma'am, friend? Have we met?
So, like, with that in mind, I think, yes, Bridget, you should do whatever the hell you want, because honestly, who cares?
Okay, like, sweet. I will purchase a very bright, colorful makeup palette and start just smearing that shit all over my eyes. It's gonna be great.
Love
also,
to see it.
I'm mostly because I have no choice sort of growing my hair out, so I'm gonna have to switch which side my eyebrow slit is on, because my bangs have started covering it. An unintended side effect of quarantine, frankly. Didn't see that one coming.
Yes.
Sad. That should be a thing. We should do an episode with just whatever weird makeup looks we have nowhere else to, like, wear them to.
Okay. I'm not much of, like, I don't...
Or just any kind of out there look that we want to try and just haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fun.
It'd be interesting. We can do that.
Or just, like, dress in whatever style, like, you don't have anywhere else to wear. Like, you got a flapper dress.
That's a big mood. Like, the few times going to... Oh, no, I don't have a flapper. But, like, the few times I go to the grocery store, I really, like... I look nice.
Oh,
like,
I pull out all the stops.
Like, oh, we need milk? Let me get my fit on.
Yeah, let me put my nice wool coat on with, like, scarf and my nice boots. Like, let's go. I saw on Twitter somewhere, it was like, I understand why people in the 1920s after the pandemic dressed up to go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want. I also saw a post one time that was like, when I have my own place, I'm going to have a dinner party, and the theme is going to be the outfit that you don't have anywhere else to wear. So, like, Pikachu onesie, fine. Flapper dress, okay. Like, medieval Renaissance fair outfit, go ahead.
I love that.
And honestly, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That is awesome.
Especially if you combine it with one of those, like the game where it's like, who do you think is going to get the most drunk tonight or whatever, where you all, like, take the video that people do on TikTok. Like, I feel like the crossroads of, like, that kind of party theme and, like, any kind of, like, drinking game you might play with your friends on, like a dinner party. I feel like that'd be super prime if we're all ever allowed to, like, leave the house and have parties again. Would love that.
One day.
Would absolutely love that. But unfortunately, it's still Rona time.
Ooh.
Well, do we have anything else slightly more positive to say before we sign off? That doesn't seem like a fun note to end on.
No.
Here you see two cynics in their natural habitat.
I know, like, these days I've been very much half glass full.
I have always been, to a degree, a pessimist, so I try to work on it. I try not to be super doom and gloom, but I do feel as though slight pessimism is, like, my natural state.
I feel like I'm a false optimist. Like, I want to think I'm, like, optimistic all the time, but upon further reflection, like, wait,
you sure about that?
She's optimistic?
It's weird because I'm also, like, a hopeless romantic, but just, like, very deep down. And I also really do like kind of like that chaotic optimism that's like, you know, nothing in the, like, you know, we're all gonna die, the universe is gonna end, might as well have some fun.
Yes.
That I do resonate with. There's a lot of, like, different attitudes mingling in here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on up here. Not a lot of thinking, but a lot going on.
A lot of, I don't know, energy wasted thinking about not productive
Lots of
things,
intermingling, like radio static.
Well, a positive note. I'm glad that you are having an unexpected great day.
Thank you. That is appreciated.
And I hope both you and everyone watching / listening has a great unexpected week.
Yes. And we will see you again next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Maddie Robbins. You can find other episodes of the podcast on Acast, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at MR5MAR. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature. Thanks for listening.